From 2009 to 2012, the Illinois State Archaeological Survey performed excavations in East St. Louis near and within the National City Stockyards. A complex historic component in the form of privies, cisterns, and cellars, and other features ranging from the 1860s to 1920s were found. Being so close to the industrial complex of the stockyards, the people of the time would endure the residual effects of the area, such as pollution, or work directly in such conditions. During the excavations, a significant number of bottles were found. We'll focus on medicine bottles today. What we're talking about are some of the more important, prominent types of bottles found, which were bitters, remedies, and tonics. Coming out of flu season, or some still in the thick of it, we're familiar with some of these symptoms, how they feel, and having to deal with them just getting through the day. These are some of the symptoms the medicines we'll discuss were meant to cure. With most of these symptoms, we know right away where to go and what to get. We know what to bring home. Alka-Seltzer, which will help an upset stomach. Bengay or Icy Hot will loosen up those tight joints. Back then, there were places to go to get the medicine too. There were a number of druggists down Collinsville Avenue, and that's one of the popular streets within our area of study. Let's get started. Coca Mariani. Invented in the 1860s by a French chemist named Angelo Mariani, it was an invigorative wine tonic made of Bordeaux wine and coca leaves. There were various other brands and makes, but it all started here. Easy recipe, right? Just 2 ingredients to remember. Not so bad. What's important, though, is how these ingredients work together. The ethanol from the wine would extract the cocaine from the leaves, infusing the tonic, making a very invigorative concoction indeed. In France, it would have about 6 milligrams of cocaine per ounce. But to compete with other such tonics overseas, Mariani would export the drink at 7.2 milligrams per ounce. Here's some noted drinkers of the tonic. In the United States in 1885, John Pemberton developed his own coca wine. After Atlanta passed Prohibition, he removed the wine and replaced it with a syrup, and named the drink after its coca and leaves, the cola nuts. Hostetter's bitters were invented by Dr. J. Hostetter during the Civil War. It was initially marketed to soldiers as a protective against the maladies of the southern swamps. But after the war, it was sold as a stomach calmer, and at the time, it was quite a popular bitters. I'm not sure if its popularity was due to its effectiveness or just the 47% alcohol content. That's 94 proof. At saloons in Alaska, it was actually sold by the glass because of its high alcohol content. But the bitters survived into the 1950s, but as Hostetter tonic. This wasn't the end of bitters, though. They're still around today, some even from the patented medicine days of the early 20th century. However, today you'll find them behind most bar counters. Cuticura Resolvent was a product in the Cuticura system that was manufactured by George Robert Wright's Potter and Drug Company. The system included the resolvent, an ointment, and a soap, all geared towards skin ailments. The resolvent was said to cure from skin and blood disease. Let's take a look at the ingredients list. 16 ounces of whiskey. Tends to make me feel better, but I don't know if it does anything for my skin complexion other than make it real red. Cuticura wasn't all that bad, though. The soap actually worked. It was a very capable antibacterial. In fact, Cuticura soap is still in production today. You can buy the soap at cuticura.com. In 1906, things changed. In light of reports like Sinclair's The Jungle and the work of Dr. Harvey Washington Wiley, who would become known as the grandfather of the FDA, Roosevelt passed the Pure Food and Drug Act. This was only a start, but eventually the coca leaves came out of the wine, Hostetter cut back to a mere 25% alcohol content, and post-1906, there's not even a mention of resolvent in any Cuticura ad that I've come across. Looking at these medicines and their ingredients really got me thinking, and after a quick look at my trusty bartender's manual, once I had a dream of mixing cocktails on a beach in Kokomo, thank you very much, Tom Cruise, I figured out what was missing, a cherry. See, you've got the whiskey and Cuticura, the bitters and the bitters, and well, vermouth is a wine. Bordeaux should be close enough, right?